I'm gonna repaint this painting. It's sitting to my left, but I'm gonna put up on the screen. And I may be thinking, why would I do that? One of the reasons is because it's been sitting for a while, and typically after a live painting event, I take it home with me. You also may be thinking again, why don't you give it to the people who offered you to paint it? One of the reasons is because live painting is more so for the experience. They're paying for the experience of the live painting. Now there's an option, which I plan on doing in the future. Since this one is still with me, I'm going to paint over it. Another reason is because it's going to save me time. It'll save me time with my upcoming exhibition and art festival coming up as well. I can repaint this in that new style that I'm doing. Therefore, that's why it's getting repainted. And it's going to be a good time. So hang out, grab some snacks, let's paint together, let's get it done. I'm gonna paint this whole thing white. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to leave an outline around certain areas. That way, that's gonna save me from having to redo the entire proportions of the face. It makes it much easier. That's how I'm gonna do it. You wanna know what I just realized? I realized that I left my brushes in the car. I don't have the car with me. So therefore, I can't paint today. Or at least not until later tonight. But I'm probably not gonna paint that late. That's pretty late. Yeah. Oh my gosh. These brushes are dirty. These brushes are mad dirty right now. I was using them to paint the ground. That's got all the water on my face. I'm edit that out. I'm back. And I got some brushes. I was using these to paint the ground mural. And now I got them back. So I want to paint this right behind me now. Now, the idea that I had for this piece, it was originally a Japanese style piece. And I'm aiming to keep this fighting theme, anime, manga, fighting action theme within my pieces. I'm aiming to keep the fun and action in that. Because one, I love MMA. And I'm aiming to incorporate that inside my art as well. I watch it a lot. I watch it quite often. And therefore, I'm thinking to myself, that feeling that I get when I watch MMA, I'm going to put that inside my art. And I'm kind of also thinking to myself, I'm going to make art that relates to stuff that I like more, meaning that I think that looks pretty good. Now what I did here is I left the hair because in the sketch I did, I like how the hair was. So I'm leaving it like that. At the same time, you can kind of see the underneath, the paint underneath, and that's okay because I plan on using the same or similar colors, more like blue or teal, and also that nice salmon background. Also, it saves me from doing more work that may be unnecessary in the end. Now what I'm gonna do is I want to put a burnt sienna over top of it once it dries. Then I'm beginning to paint. The stuff that I like, I want to incorporate it in my art. Therefore, people who like the things that I like and things that I'm interested in may enjoy that kind of art as well, may enjoy the art that I make. Or I seen someone say, make art for your friends. And I thought about that, thought to myself, because the way he explained it was, when he made art for his friends, it was fun. And sometimes it was humorous. And it was sort of like this inside joke. I thought to myself, that's a great point. Because our target audience, essentially, when we look at it, we wouldn't necessarily be close friends with someone if we weren't alike in some kind of way. I think we could think about our target audience as though it's our friend group. And think about the things that our friends like and that we like. And this one, she has short hair, and I wanted to change that up a bit because I felt the ponytail was messing with the composition. It was sort of going against the composition. And so therefore I wanted more breathing room in it. Then I'm also stepping into more fashion inside my art. So adding fashionable clothes in there. Clothes I think they look fashionable. Also because one, I really enjoy fashion. Not that I'm this fashion guru or I know all these different kind of styles, and I can incorporate things that I enjoy and hopefully that resonates with somebody else. And so for this one, I'm also adding different kind of elements in there when it comes to anime references. Like the earring is Deku's hand grenade arm thing that's on his arm. That's off the anime My Hero Academia, if you're familiar. And throwing those references in there. And also I really enjoy the different color skin. It makes it look different. I painted realism skin for so long, and I really just want to make it look different and not do natural actual skin tones. So I'm just changing those up and playing around with those as well. Then also playing with different color schemes. and seeing ways I can really amplify the piece and story with colors as well. Then also giving the character a story. My aim is to really give them a story, and I've been playing around with character prompt generators, and they give me some different kind of ideas on characters and also their powers. For this one, it was telekinesis. So I thought to myself, why not put some floating rocks in the background? Something fun like that. And also the cool manga sort of anime thing above her head where she's thinking about fighting. Because also the power in this, or the weapon of choice, was fist. That's the initial concept idea, is to have it sort of a fighting theme and have this lady with this sort of serious yet slight smile, like she's looking forward to fighting right now. And that's what it kind of represents. And there's not too much of a deep meaning behind it. Again, with these new pieces, I'm more so challenging myself. I'm challenging myself to see if I could take an idea and piece it together. Now let me chat to you about the materials and techniques that I chose for this painting. And as you can see, the brushes that I'm using, they're actually mural brushes, meaning that the brand is Zebra. You may have seen some random ads for it. Actually, first time I came across it was a random ad that I seen, and I actually got these specifically to do murals, and they work pretty well. The brush I'm using, one of the brushes I'm using, the thick one, it holds so much paint in it, so it keeps this nice, thick, consistent line throughout as you're applying the brush. And I got these from Lowe's, and these brushes work pretty good. They hold a lot more paint than the average brush, and they make these paintings much faster. Now I do have to layer sometimes a lot. I see that my paint is transparent, so I do have to wait for it to dry a little bit to go back over top of it. And that's certain colors. You got red, you got yellow, orange-ish. Now a color that is fantastic for not necessarily having to constantly go over again is blue. Blue is crisp. It's clean, sharp, all the words that you could think of. It's good for that. And then the way these brushes are shaped too, it allows me to get those angles and to go around the edges much more crisp and clean. Then I also have a liner brush, a simple liner brush. Another thing too is the brushes that I use, they're not necessarily expensive brushes. These are cheap brushes. And I believe that we don't need expensive brushes to do an amazing job. It's really about the person using the brush. So the fine liner that I got, I'm using that to get, I usually do that at the end, and I outline the piece itself. It makes it much more crisp. It's better than using a round tip brush that's necessarily not meant for that. What's cool about this is it holds a decent amount of paint, not too much, so I do have to dip it back into the paint, but it holds a decent amount. And so the length of it as well allows me to get a nice long crisp line around the edges. On top of that, change the weight of the line as well, because rather than having a nice consistent balanced line, I like to make the line a little wiggly, a little wobbly, and different weights throughout. I think that makes it look more visually interesting. So that's the kind of brush I use. And then for the other small details to get inside the little smaller areas, the smaller pockets of the painting, then that's why I use a smaller brush. I'll either use a flat tip brush or a round tip brush. And again, these are cheap brushes to use. Cheap brushes. You don't need expensive ones to do extraordinary job. It's really about the person using it, but then also playing towards the characteristics of the brush, meaning the way it's shaped, towards your advantage as well. That's kind of brush to use. And then for the paint, it's simple, basic acrylic paint. That's all it is. Yep, so that was the end of this painting. I hope you enjoy and take a look at it. And also don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.